Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Wednesday, May 6th, 2026. A man was hospitalized after reportedly stabbing himself in the neck with a knife at a Joshua Tree restaurant. On Monday at around 4 p.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to the Joshua Tree Saloon, located at the intersection of 29 Palms Highway and Park Boulevard in Joshua Tree, for a report of an injured man. Deputies say they arrived to find that an adult man had stabbed himself in his own neck with a knife. Deputies say the man was suffering from heavy bleeding and that restaurant staff applied direct pressure to the wound until first responders arrived at the scene. Deputies arrived first and continued medical aid until EMS arrived. The man was taken by ambulance to High Desert Medical Center, where he is being treated. No arrests have yet been made as part of this incident. The town of Yucca Valley's Measure Y Partnership Program announced a list of nonprofits that will be receiving revenue from the half-cent sales tax used to fund the measure. Online news editor Robert Hayden has the breakdown.
The Measure Y Partnership Program distributes funds to nonprofits and projects that are dedicated to improving the lives of Yucca Valley residents through public safety, art, infrastructure, and other programming. Finance Manager Jordan Gumbush led the presentation at last night's Yucca Valley Town Council meeting. 26 applications were submitted for the funding cycle, requesting about $758,000 in total. Half of those were chosen for funding, with 13 organizations receiving a total of $298,300 spread out over 2 years. Gumbush says that the 2-year funding cycle was chosen to improve nonprofit stability and planning, and as part of the review process, applicants must submit financial documentation including audited financial statements, tax returns, board of directors lists, and verification of 501c3 nonprofit status to ensure transparency and proper reporting. Each awarded partner is required to complete an agreement at the beginning of the grant period, and they're also expected to submit progress reports and a final report at the end of the 2-year period. Those reports include photos, project summaries, and detailed expenditure documents as requested by the town staff. The nonprofits are chosen on a number of criteria. Are they a local service that exists primarily in the town of Yucca Valley? How many residents does the program reach, and does the funding impact the cost of the participants? The nonprofit's stability and history with the town is also reviewed, along with any previous Measure Y funding that the program may have received. The applications are reviewed by the town's Revenue Oversight Committee, and Town Manager Curtis Yakima says that funding these nonprofit programs helps provide services the town can't.
These organizations really have found a way to take relatively limited resources, but expand them and expand the programming and expand the services that are available in our community. And they do that through their nonprofit organizations. So it is providing services that the town cannot provide, and that these nonprofits are able to provide much more reach than if they were not available.
The recipients of Measure Y funds over the next 2 years are Reach Out Morongo Basin, the High Desert Pregnancy Clinic, the Boys and Girls Club of the High Desert, Rescue Residents, the Basin Wide Foundation, the Morongo Basin Tennis Association, Yucca Valley Lobos Youth Football, Mill Tree, the Yucca Valley Material Lab, Dance Mojave Performance Collective, the Morongo Basin Competitive Dance Team, the Yucca Valley Airport District, and Hope Through Housing Foundation. It was a full house at the meeting, with many of the applicants on hand to express their gratitude and explain how the funds will help their nonprofits. You can find the full list of recipients along with their funding amounts at this story at Z107.7 FM.com. The next round of Measure Y funding is expected to open up in February of 2028. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
At last night's meeting, the 29 Palms Planning Commission considered a request for a conditional use permit to allow for more events throughout the year from the Friends of the Historic Plaza. Annalise Kuiper joins us with a report.
Previously, Historic Plaza only offered 4 events annually because this is all temporary use permits will allow. Now, Friends of Historic Plaza have applied for a conditional use permit, which would allow weekly events to be held on Sunday afternoons from noon to 5 p.m. Occasionally, an event may run until 10 p.m. Situated on the northwest corner of Adobe Road and 2 Mile, the commercial buildings are on either side of a driveway and parking area, allowing vendor booths to be set up in this parking lot. Arts and crafts will be displayed and sold along with prepackaged food and other products. Alcohol sales would be allowed at these events, and there may be live music. Jimmy Brower, one of the 4 directors of Friends of Historic Plaza, added,
If approved, we would continue to drive the historical preservation of the historic plaza through free community events for all demographics, and we stand by our commitment that all are welcome at the historic plaza. So the CUP would allow more feasibility for our nonprofit to produce events that are all volunteer operated, coming from grants and funding through donations as well as the city, and we're also committed to all of the conditions of the actual CUP. This has been one of the ways that we're able to increase and better the quality of life for our residents here in 29, but also add to the city's strategic plan whenever it comes to boosting tourism and creating a unique identity for the city of 29 Palms.
The conditional use permit for Friends of Historic Plaza was unanimously approved. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Annalise Kuiper.
Amidst otherwise positive recognitions given from the Morongo Unified School District Board of Trustees, last night's regular meeting was dominated by the public voicing their disapproval of possible school closures, with one parent calling for the removal of a board member. Reporter Gabriel Hart was in attendance and has this recap.
Lead Behavioral Instructional Assistant for MUSD's Plus program, Satori Mark, was recognized by the board with a certificate of appreciation, citing her training district staff with de-escalating students experiencing emotional dysregulation. The California Association of Latino Superintendent and Administration recognized 2 board members as honorees. Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Education, Dr. Gracie Gutierrez, was named Office Administrator of the Year, and Dr. Patricio Vargas was named Superintendent of the Year. With 3 to 4 MUSD schools still risking closure, passionate parents and staff took to the mic during 2 lengthy public comment periods. In response to the approval of the most recent board study, student parent Kelly Newman urged the board to offer the enrollment committee more time to make their recommendations on the closures, citing miscommunication, misunderstandings, and unnecessary pressure from Dr. Stella Kemp of School Leaders, an outside firm hired by MUSD to, quote, help districts maximize resources.
Towards the end of the meeting, Stella Kemp from School Leaders was pressuring the committee to come to a consensus on closures while withholding all the other cost-saving options that MUSD could pursue instead. The EC nearly voted to close Landers based on a misunderstanding by the committee chair that their enrollment was projected to drop from 120 to 92 students next school year. I had to shout from the audience that Landers enrollment would only drop to 108 students. According to California Ed Codes, there is no legal due date that binds the 7-Eleven committee to present recommendations. Please give them the right and respect to have ample time to make educated decisions.
During the second public comment period, parent James Hassler called for the discipline and removal of board member David Daniels, citing, quote, lack of transparency and accountability with interfund borrowing.
We have also watched decisions influenced by David Daniels unfold behind closed doors, including interfund borrowing he himself described as too complicated for this community to understand. That is not transparency. That is not accountability. So we ask plainly, where did the money go? Based on reported fiscal beginning numbers, approximately $30 million is now missing or unaccounted for. We are demanding public spreadsheets and clear proof of funds. As a community, we are formally requesting disciplinary action against David Daniels and Stella Kemp for spreading disinformation and influencing proceedings without honesty or transparency. We are also calling for removal of their leadership. Their leadership requires trust and integrity. When those are broken, accountability must follow.
Palm Vista Elementary 6th grade teacher Stacy Smith said parents and staff are hearing, quote, double talk, untruths, and misinformation, unquote, then challenged the board regarding their own, quote, top-heavy salaries.
And by your actions, you are proving that what is most important to you is your paycheck and your bonus. And things like when you said the burden of teacher salaries. What about the burden of your salaries? Every one of you at the district is a burden. Anybody ride the bus Tuesday afternoon to see what it's like on buses that are over capacity? Anybody want to come to my room where I have 33 students in my class?
Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Gabriel Hart.
The High Desert Artist Gallery presents an evening with author, journalist, and curator Katie Nartanis in conversation with actor Jason Werner Smith tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Nartanis will discuss her latest work, California Desert Artists. Joining her for this conversation is Jason Werner Smith, a character actor known for his role as Gavin in the television series The Walking Dead, as well as numerous film appearances, including Song Sung Blue. This special event offers a behind-the-scenes look at the creative process, the evolution of the desert art scene, and the stories behind the artists shaping it today. Admission is free. The talk is happening tomorrow at 6 p.m. at High Desert Artist Gallery, located at 55635 29 Palms Highway in Yucca Valley. The 75th Annual National Day of Prayer is happening tomorrow. The National Day of Prayer is an annual observance held on the first Thursday of May every year, inviting people of all faiths to pray for the nations. It was created in 1952 by a joint resolution of the United States Congress and signed into law by President Harry S. Truman. The theme of this year's event is Glorify God among the nations, seeking him in all generations, from 1 Chronicles 16:24. The 29 Palms Ministerial Association will host 3 services in 29 Palms tomorrow, led by President MacArthur Wright. Service times are 7 a.m. and noon at Veterans Park Flagpole and at 6:30 p.m. at the Gospel Fellowship Christian Center Church, located at 5898 Adobe Road. Services are open to the public, and Mayor Daniel Mintz from the City of 29 Palms will present a proclamation at the morning service. To learn more about the National Day of Prayer, visit nationaldayofprayer.org. The Rotary Club of Joshua Tree, in partnership with the Joshua Tree Sportsman Club, invites the community to an evening of fun and philanthropy at a special night of bingo held on Friday. Attendees can look forward to a lively atmosphere, chances to win prizes, and an opportunity to come together in support of a meaningful local cause. Proceeds from the evening will benefit the Way Station in Joshua Tree, supporting their outdoor restrooms project, an initiative aimed at improving access to essential facilities for those in need within the community. The event will take place at the Joshua Tree Community Center, located at 6171 Sunburst Avenue on Friday. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. with games to follow shortly after. And finally, the City of 29 Palms has opened applications for their 2026-2027 Youth Council. Their leadership program is open to students entering grades 6 through 12 in the fall who are passionate about making a positive impact in their community. Established in 2024, the Youth Council provides opportunities for students to build strong leadership and communication skills, including training with National Youth Leadership Council. You can find applications at the Parks and Recreation Department in 29 Palms and at City Hall. The deadline to apply is June 3rd. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.